The Justice Department has started releasing selfie videos of the various participants in the insurrection, including this one of a rioter bragging about his outing that day.
So, yes, today, Ryan Nichols grabbed his fucking weapon and he stormed the Capitol and he fought for freedom, for election integrity. I fought.
I can't believe he just had a tire iron with him. Or was that a nail puller?
It was a crowbar.
A crowbar.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Next to his bed.
Because when you go to visit the Capitol, the federal, when you go there, that's what you want to have is a crowbar, not a camera, not some money for souvenirs. You want a crowbar.
The crowbar, though, is to get the best deals from the gift shop. Like, Ryan Nichols is not going to pay this much for a White House figurine. And he's in his hotel room. Like, meanwhile, the guy next door is probably thinking, I'm trying to decide if I want grapefruit juice or tea. Dude, shut the fuck up. Plus, the way he flubbed election integrity, it's almost like he stopped fighting election integrity and started fighting the effects of a stroke.
Hooked on phonics did not work for him.
It's almost like he just learned about that as a reason for why they might be doing this. And he was new phrasing to him. He hadn't quite grasped it yet, but it was a really strong reason to storm the Capitol.
Do you think the logic, quote unquote, was let's storm the Capitol? And then he, for a second, asked why. And then they said election integrity. But he had already committed to it.
It's more syllables than stop the steal, to be fair. There was some focus placed on the defendants of the attack on the Capitol. Of course, what the commission doesn't cover, right-wing networks are all too willing to do, as Newsmax demonstrates in this phone interview with one of the January 6th defendants.
That is Ryan Nichols, seen on January 6th. A protester. He served in the Marine Corps, by the way, honorably discharged after 4 years, but right now he's in a lot of trouble. He was arrested in January 18th in Texas. He's been in the D.C. jail now for a long time, and he actually joins us from the phone right now. Let's talk about what's happening right now. Do me a favor. Tell us where you are right now. Set the scene. You're on phone, in jail. Where? How does it work? What's going on where you are right now?
Right now, I am in what I'd like to refer to as D.C. Gitmo, but we're in the D.C. DOC Correctional Facility, and I can only describe it as psychologically damaging, torturous, and inhumane here. Solitary confinement for anywhere between 18 to 26 hours per day. It used to be upwards of 23 to 30 hours per day. Before they finally gave us a little bit more time out of our cells.
Yeah, I mean, it was... Well, we pointed out how Stuart Rhodes wasn't the brightest bulb in the bunch. In one way, this guy thinks there's 26 or 30 hours in a day. And by definition, one of the characteristics of being a January 6th defendant is that clearly they don't comprehend math that well.
Or consequences. When you break the law, you go to jail. And sometimes it's inhumane.
It's awful here. Boo-hoo.
I know.
Oh, shit, that's what jail's like.
What did he call it? DC.
You go to jail and they're like, oh, what would you like off the menu today, sir?
DC Gitmo, he called it. Only a former Marine would say that. Jeez.
That's the funny part about Trump, though, is actually, I'm from Philadelphia, and I remember beginning his shenanigans with all the casinos down in Atlantic City. And he's always been a jerk off. He's always been a predator. And I don't mean a sexual predator. I'm not talking about that, but he's always been predatory in his business dealings. Yeah. He's always been predatory in any relationships he's had. And if it wasn't for that one freaking jerk off with that stupid Apprentice show, none of this garbage would have ever happened. He was on the trash heap of history. Who was that? What's that guy's name who produced that? Didn't he produce he's a big time?
Oh,
Mark somebody. He did Survivor too.
Yeah, like
Oh.
that was that are horribles. Yeah, it's like if it wasn't for that stupid television show and people getting excited about watching somebody being a rude buffoon. I mean, if there's nothing, that says America right there.
Yeah, I mean, he was. I'm from upstate New York, and I mean, he definitely did some damage in New York. Like he wasn't a nice.
It's
person.
funny. I walked by Trump Tower last week. I was up in New York City doing some stuff. I looked up. I was like, but I mean, it's not really that big a deal.
Oh, he's.
You know what? I guess I should have gone inside to see what it's like. Have you ever been inside Trump Tower? I've never been in there.
Oh hell no.
But no, I hear you. That's exactly why I didn't go in. That's exactly. But I was like, I should have went in, like shit on the floor or something like that.
Right. I mean, yeah, there would be.
Well,
reasons.
except for the fact that a normal human being was going to have to clean it up, and that
Right.
respectful. So,
Mark Burnett was the name of the
Yes.
of
looked
the
that
producer.
up.
Yep. And
that's the guy. He's the guy who should have to clean his shit up on the floor.